and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Janelle and I upload new videos every Wednesday and Friday. And in today's video, I'm super excited because I'm going to show you guys how I got this super easy holiday soft glam makeup look. This makeup look is very simple, but it just looks so glam and just pretty for the holidays. With this makeup look, you could definitely switch out the lip color. You could definitely tone it down by switching out the lip color for like a nude or no lipstick or more of like a burnt orange color. So yeah, I just want to show you guys how I get my go-to kind of like soft glam makeup look that I've been loving lately. So if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look, then definitely please keep watching. But before you go anywhere, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified every Wednesday and Friday when I upload. I love you all so much, and let's jump into this makeup look. So I literally have not sat down and filmed a makeup tutorial in what feels like a month. So let's jump right in. So I already prepped my skin a couple of hours ago. To prep it, I always start with my MAC Lightful C Softening Lotion. This stuff is so amazing. I don't know why more people are not on this. This is such a gem. If you haven't tried it, you need it. I went in with some vitamin C serum. I love the Honest Beauty one. And then to hydrate my skin, I use my MAC Complete Comfort Cream. This is like the thickest moisturizer ever, and I never thought that I would actually need to use it until I moved to the good old CT. And in this drier, less humid weather, my skin definitely needs it. It already soaked it all up, which is mind-blowing to me. So today for primer, I'm so excited. I'm going to be trying out the Revlon Photo Ready Prime Plus Brightening Skin Tone Evening Makeup and Skincare Primer. Gosh, that was a lot. And I actually saw this on TikTok and they said it was supposed to be a dupe for like the Ole Henriksen Brightening Primer. So I'm really excited to try this out. So you guys, this day has been interesting. I sat down to film earlier and I like got all ready. It literally takes like an hour to prep, and then realized my camera this whole time was not charging. Like I had the battery in, but I didn't have the battery in like the little charger thing right. So that was fun. So I was like, you know what? Since I didn't charge my camera, I'll just go ahead and take care of everything else that I had to take care of. So let me just go to the grocery store now and just get that over with. That way when I come back, I can film, get to the grocery store, realize I forgot my wallet at home. So we're gonna do a pump of this. It's like a peachy yellowy color. Let's see how it applies. Ooh, it feels really good. Do another pump for my forehead because this is like a whole other surface area. Oh, that actually feels really nice on the skin. It actually leaves the skin nice and tacky too. So I feel like my foundation and all that will grip really nice to my skin. But for my brows, I always like using the Got to Be Glued styling gel. And I've been liking to do this on my brows to give it that very feathery look. So I normally do this first before I do like any face makeup or eye makeup, just so that way it has time to like dry and like set in my eyebrow. This has really changed my brow game and made it just so much easier. I have the type of brows that literally like just grow in every direction, and it's really hard to tame them, and this like actually locks them down. It keeps them in place. All right, so while my brows dry down, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyelids using my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I just started using this again, and oh my gosh, I don't know why I stopped using it. It makes such a difference in how long my eyeshadow wears and how smooth everything blends out. It works so much better than just using a concealer because it actually kind of like dries down to a matte finish. It doesn't like let your eyeshadow cling to certain parts. Like it just cancels out any discoloration on the lid, but still lets everything just blend out so smooth. I literally have no idea why I put this away and stopped using it. I'm just buffing it out with a MAC 252 brush. And with this product, a tiny bit goes the longest way. You do not want to apply too much of this or it can start looking cray-cray because it is a thicker formula. And then if you're going to apply shadow further out, make sure you bring the eyeshadow primer further out too. And if you like it like to bring shadow in this inner part too, make sure to bring your primer there as well. I feel like I haven't sat down and filmed a makeup tutorial in so long that I like forgot how to film a makeup tutorial. So I'm going to quickly fill in my brows off camera using my MAC brow pen. It's in the shade Stud. It's the darkest color, but I just use a super light hand. It'll look crazy at first, but I promise it'll come together. And basically with this brow pen, I just like to create like little flick hair-like strokes just to give a nice feathery brow. Whenever I'm filling in my brows, I normally start at the tail and I always angle it up and I bring my brow kind of like up and out I never actually follow how my brows are because then it'll like drag down my eyes. So now for my eyeshadow look, I'm gonna play with my Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette. Oh, this is not the Volume 1. As you can see, this palette is loved, used, and abused, and I just feel like it's such a good staple palette to own. Oh my gosh, all of my brushes are so dirty. I hate when this happens. So to start off this look, you want to start with like a light neutral brown. So I'm going to take this color in the palette with a fluffy JH31 brush. I'm always starting in the inner corner. And I just do circular motions, kind of like back and forth. Instead of just doing straight windshield wiper motions, I do circular motions and windshield wiper motions, if that makes sense. And then once I get to this part of my eye, I always push it up and feather it into the tail of my eyebrow just to help like lift my eye. Grab some more of that same color, and this time start at the center of my eye and just kind of like build it up there. You guys, my house renovation is already almost done. All we have to do is paint the cabinets in our kitchen, and then our countertops are going to be installed like the 1st or 2nd week of December. I am so excited. It already looks so good. We're going to finish painting like the living room and stuff today. So I'm just so excited to finally see it all start to come together. The last couple weeks, it was like 2 weeks I think that it took for most of the renovation. I was like excited to see the process, but super stressed because there was just like dust everywhere. So I'm excited that the messiest part of it is done and like we can finally start to like situate things again and really get settled. So now taking a smaller blending brush, this is the JH35 brush. I'm gonna dip into my favorite color in the palette, this guy right here. It's like a beautiful mustardy brown. I love shades like this, and I'm just gonna put that lower in my crease just to give some definition, but I don't want it to like darken up the eye too much. Again, I'm starting my color in the inner corner and then just doing like circular windshield wiper motions out and up in my crease. This is just what works for my eye shape. If your eyes are closer together, avoid putting too much color in the inner corner. Focus the color more on the outside, but I feel like my eyes, they're just, I don't know if they're far apart, but I don't know, I just like the way a lot of shadow looks in my inner corner. And now taking one of my favorite brushes, this is the MAC 221. It's like the perfect small fluff brush to just get like right in this outer part of the eye. I'm gonna pick up, I'm gonna use this color in the palette, a nice dark neutral brown. To apply it, and to apply it, I'm gonna use a little straight edge. That way it keeps it nice and sharp on the side. And I'm just gonna start working it. This is too dark. Change my mind, I take it back, I take it back. I'm gonna dip into this color, because I don't want it too dark. Hopefully we can salvage this. And then I'm gonna use the angled part of the brush. This time I'm like barely on my eye. Like I'm literally mainly putting it on the edge and just letting a hint of the hairs touch my eye. And that'll create more of that wing effect like you see here. See how it literally just did a wing for me? So I started on my lid, and then the further I get to the outer part, I'm literally like just blending it on top of my straight edge and just letting whatever extra tiny hairs get onto my lid to create that wing shape. I really hope I make sense. I feel like I'm not the best at explaining things, but I really want to be. Now whatever's left, I'm just gonna lightly bring in my inner part of my eye and then just lightly buff it in my crease. So now taking a really tiny brush, I'm going to pick up this shade in the palette and put that in the front part of my eyelid. I'm going to coat the front part of the brush and the back part of the brush. That way my brush is fully loaded in the eyeshadow and I'll be able to cut the front part of like my crease a little bit better. I always start in my inner corner like this and then just kind of like wiggle it up. Now taking my Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, I'm going to take this color right here. And what I love about this color is that it's matte with a very soft like flecks of gold sparkle throughout it. If you don't have this palette but you wanted to use a similar color, the shade Soba by MAC is very similar and you can get like the refill pan for only $8. I'm going to load up that color on a flat shader brush and I'm going to lightly like blend it into my outer crease colors and then tap it into that shimmer Then we'll go back in with the brush that has that shimmer left over to kind of like blend those two colors together. Soft sheen, but without being like too overpowering, so that if you are going to like a family get together, you want to look glam but you don't want to look too over the top, this is the eyeshadow for you. Now I'm just taking my shimmer brush that has like this color in it, and I'm not picking up any extra product. I'm just taking whatever was left on my brush and using that to blend into the other color. And then you'll just take your blending brush that has your initial transition and then just pat that kind of like between the two, and it just marries everything together. So now I'm just taking a makeup wipe. I'm gonna put it like over my nail like this, and then just use that to clean up the edge of my shadow. The only thing missing in the Jaclyn Hill original palette is just like a matte cream color to highlight underneath of the brow bone. So I'm just taking my Kohl Cosmetics contour palette and taking a matte beigey tone, and I'm just gonna use that underneath of the high point of my eyebrow. Then I'm just gonna take my initial blending brush, blend it out. Now taking my MAC eyeliner in the shade Prunella. It's like a beautiful purpley brown. I'm just gonna use that to tight line my upper lash line. Then I'm just gonna lightly bring it across my lash line. Mainly just in the center part of my eye, because I already have like the wing on this outer part and inner part. And then also for the eyes, I'm going to take my Physicians Formula Brown Liquid Eye Pen. And I just like to do a line of this just on the edge here to make the edge of the eyeshadow look super crisp, so it has something to like fade into, I guess. So like basically I'll just do a line at the edge of the shadow and it'll look like the liner fades into the eyeshadow. Does that make sense? The edge of my makeup wipe again, clean it up. So for underneath of my eyes, I'm gonna start off by concealing with my MAC Mineralize Concealer in NW20. This is a beautiful peachy tone, so it'll really cancel out any blueness underneath of my eye, but it's super lightweight. So when I layer my more brightening concealer over top, it's not gonna look or feel heavy underneath of the eye. I'm literally just gonna do one stripe of this right here, and then I'm just gonna buff that in using my e.l.f. sponge. And then now I'm going to take my Pat McGrath concealer in L7. This is a super full coverage, very light concealer, so I just like to put it right in here to really open up the like inner part of my eye. And then I like to angle it on the edge of my eye to lift it as well. I love how full coverage this concealer is, but it's also super hydrating, so it doesn't look dry or crepey underneath of the eye. So I like to focus it like here. And then again, I do a little dot on the edge underneath of my nose. I like to lift up the face here. And then I also put it underneath of my cheekbone here to really sculpt and lift and make these cheekbones cut somebody. Then I'll put some down the center of my nose. This concealer though, I always use a super light hand. Like I'm not globbing on the product. I'm always wiping off the excess because this concealer can get crazy real quick with how full coverage it is. And I always put some on the back of my hand too. I'll work my sponge into the product on the back of my hand. That way when I go to blend out the concealer, it's not picking it up and moving it around. I learned that from Huru. She really does share all of her tips and tricks, and I really took that one and it really worked. Now we're just going to blend her out. I'm going to bring it onto the side of my nose as well. Around my nose. And when I'm blending out this brightening concealer, I'm not bringing it so close to underneath of my eye. I'm like keeping it more on my cheek area. Again, that way my under eye doesn't start looking too heavy or crepey. And then I'm gonna wait. Look at the difference that just did to my face though. It like really lifts and sculpts. I'm gonna wait to blend out the concealer in the center of my nose until after I nose contour. So to nose contour, I'm gonna be using my Fenty Beauty cream bronzer in the shade Tati. It's like the perfect nose contour color. And I love this for nose contour because it doesn't go on too harsh. It's super easy to blend out. And I just take that with this small Morphe pencil brush. I kind of like wipe off the excess on the mirror, and then I just do a little like triangle here. And then I like cut it off to shorten the tip of my nose. Then I bring it up, do a little like circle here, give myself a cute little button nose. And then you're just gonna blend it up. And I bring it into my eyebrow. So I'm gonna buff it out with my finger first, and then I'll go in with my beauty sponge. Now to contour the rest of my face, I'll be using my Wet n Wild contour stick. Do not sleep on this Wet n Wild contour stick, it's so good. I use the color Oaks on You. It is seriously one of my favorite contours. Putting the contour on my cheekbone to lift it more. And then I'm also gonna cut out this jawline because Thanksgiving coming around, you're gonna need that extra contour there. So now I'm just gonna push that into my skin with my same sponge. I always like focus a lot of bronzer right here in the same angle where the shadow is, and I just kind of like lift it into my temples, and that really helps like lift the face and snatch everything. I feel like when I do this, I don't even need to do foundation between like the concealer and contour. I'm also gonna bring some contour around my lips. And then for foundation, I'm just gonna do one pump of my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation in the shade 6.5. The L'Oreal True Match Lumi is also super similar to this foundation, a very similar finish. But literally one pump like that, and I work it into my sponge, and then I like tap it on both sides. That way the product is evenly distributed, and then I just like focus it more on like this bottom part of my face. Since like the concealer, I have a good amount underneath of my eyes, so I don't need coverage there. The contour gave good coverage. It's mainly just to like blend everything together. I'll take whatever's left under my eye, so that way I just take whatever little bit is left on the back of my hand, and that's what I focus on my forehead. But for the most part, I don't think anybody needs a lot of coverage on their forehead. Now I'm just gonna take my MAC Glow Play blush in the shade Heat Index. You guys, do not sleep on these MAC blushes. They are so good. They're just so good. They're a nice cream blush, but you don't have to necessarily set it with like a powder. You can use it on top of powder. And I'm gonna focus this toward the back part of my cheek, like almost where my cheekbone is, and then I'm gonna bring it into my nose to give like a really pretty flushed finish. Bring it across my nose. Next, taking my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk highlighter. I love to work this on the back of my hand first, and then with the tip of the brush that I just used to apply my blush with. This is the Sigma F10 brush, and I'm just gonna put this right on my actual cheekbone where it pops out, and then like see how it just does something. And then to set underneath of my eyes, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder in Fair Medium. So I'm going to start off with a light set. Some more powder, and this time I'm going to bake the sides of my nose. So I'm gonna pick up some more powder on my sponge and focus it like right here, and then I'm just gonna bring it down. Alright, so now for bronzer, I'm gonna be using my MAC Studio Fix Foundation Powder, but instead of using it as a foundation powder, I'm gonna use it as bronzer. I have the shade NC45, and this is just like the perfect bronzer for my skin tone. Since it is more potent than a bronzer, I'm gonna use a very fluffy brush to blend it out. So I'm gonna be using my Morphe M527 brush and just kind of like graze it along my forehead. So now we're just gonna wipe off the excess loose powder. Using the MAC Fix Plus. I have mine in lavender. I think this one smells so good. Following that, I'm gonna take my MAC Hyper Real Glow palette in the shade Flesh and All. It's a nice like rosy champagne-y tone. And I'm gonna take the lightest one in the palette and then just use that like to highlight the tip of my nose. And down my nose and above my lid. You know the drill. A little bit more in this inner part just cause. A little bit underneath of my eyebrow just cause. Here just cause. Then I'm gonna take my favorite MAC 137 brush, put it across all the shades, and again just focus it right here on like the high point of my cheekbone. Following that, I'm going to go back into my Jaclyn Hill palette and I'm going to take this shade and that's going to go on my lower lash line. Now I'm just going to take more of my MAC Prunella eyeliner and I'm going to put that inside of my waterline. Alright, so now I'm going to be using the same lashes that I use in every single video because I don't think I'm ever going to stop using them, to be honest. I'm not even lying. These Amazon lashes are the best lashes on the market for me personally. Like, I just really love them. I feel like they give a little bit of flair. They don't take over the makeup look. They just like give you some drama without being like overpowering. Always get so many compliments on them. So again, like always, they'll be linked down below and they're in my Amazon shop. And then before I apply them, I'm just gonna use my L'Oreal Luminous mascara in dark brown. I love the dark brown because I just feel like it, I don't know, it makes the eye pop better than the black. I feel like sometimes the black just like closes in the eye too much. All right, so eyes are finally done. So now we'll move on to lips. For my lips today, I'm gonna be using my favorite red lip combo at the moment, and it is the Il Makiage Kali Babel lip pencil in a blaze. I don't think that they make this anymore, but it is very similar to MAC Cherry lip pencil, which is permanent for MAC. So, and then the lip color that you all need to run out and get because it's like the perfect holiday red lip. It's the macsmash New Powder Kiss liquid lipstick. You guys, for one, the formula is amazing. It's like very hydrating, but it's still matte. It wears a good amount of time. It's so comfortable on the lip. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed. I got them in several colors. You could also do like a really pretty berry lip or like a burnt orange lip. For the holidays, a good red you can't go wrong with. I'm just gonna line. The applicator on this is so nice too. Like, it literally just, it fits the lip perfectly. And then last, because I want a little bit of an extra flush on my cheek, I'm gonna take my MAC Peony Petal blush. It's like a really pretty blue tone blush. It looks super bright, but I just do a light sweep with like a super fluffy dual fiber brush and then just pop it on my cheek. You guys ever take so long to do your makeup that by the time it's time to do your hair, you just give up? That's literally me right now. The back of my hair is in like tangles and knots, but you know what? It's fine. Because the makeup looks cute. So this is the completed makeup look. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. It's just such a fresh, pretty holiday glam. This has been like my favorite makeup. So yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy watching this makeup tutorial, then definitely don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified every Wednesday and Friday when I upload. I love you all so much. I pray that you all stay safe and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!